Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
Yo, 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 what is going on? Pat, how are we feeling tonight?
Dude, we are back in the Philadelphia Union. Most importantly, Steve, the Philadelphia Union, they're doing things. They are winning. They are steamrolling in the MLS right now, Steve. It's nice to see, and I know there's going to be a lot of Union fans, a lot of MLS fans are going to tell us, pump the brakes, you're beating up bottom feeders, relax, take it one still, chill. But however, like yesterday, last night was the U.S. Open Cup tournament, right? What happens immediately, Steve? What happens? Do you know what happens? You get Papa Bedoya. You get Papa Bedoya answering the call. You get him scoring a goal. He answers. He makes ways. He finds the back of the net. Number one. You got him going. And then they go to a shootout, and Andrew Rick comes up clutch. Like, this is what I'm talking about with this Philadelphia Union team. Like, everybody is plugged in to the Bradley Cornell playbook, whether it's U.S. Open Cup Challenge, whether it's regular MLS play, it doesn't matter. Like I addressed to you before, whether it's starting lineup, whether it's bench pieces, whether it's Union 2 guys coming up and making the call, whether it's Fang, whether it's the mop boy, whether it's the janitor, whether it's the press box guys, whether it's you, me, the Sons of Ben, everyone is plugged in answering the call for your Philadelphia Union team. And I love it. I love it. And I never seen it like this. Like, the Bradley Cornell message is not just paperwork. It's not just what you want to hear. This is real life stuff that's happening. He is got everybody plugged in into what he has going on here. He has everyone plugged into the atmosphere. Like that, like the competition Monday through Friday, pushing each other to the limits, get everyone ready to rock and roll for Saturday's matchup, whatever it takes, and everyone's ready to go. I mean, look at last night's matchup again. It was a mixture. Bedoya getting the start. You have you got the young Sullivan kid getting the start. I mean, they have so many pieces in play that answer the call when it's time to get called upon. It's amazing.
No, last night was a lot of fun to see. Kevin got his first Union start. Vasquez got his first Union start. Doya went 120 minutes. Kevin went 120 minutes. Rafa got a start, and he got he played the full 120 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice. I thought the way it started, you kept bringing up Bedoya's goal. And it was a great start, right? And then Indy got real physical. They were a real physical team.
Right.
And yeah, they're a USL team, but they came into Subaru Park trying to make a statement. The same statement that the Riverhounds did to NYCFC, last night. And they almost did. I'll be honest. I'll give him credit. Yeah, there was at times Kevin, he looked really good, and then there are at times where he looked 15 years old. And I give credit to Cornell. Once Indy 11 scored, he didn't hesitate. The subs were in, and I think he was putting them in anyways. Ty came in, the big dogs came in. Ty, Kai, and I think Lukic came in.
Right.
And so you kind of saw, all right, the switch, right? It's hard. In other sports, you can kind of hit that switch and everything kind of works, right? But in soccer, it's kind of hard to flip that switch. And they did at times. They had so many shots on goal. The one thing that bothers me about last night the most is Ty, Indy, Lukic, uh, they all played an extra 30 minutes, because that game went to 120 minutes and Carnell used all of his subs. So there wasn't anybody, and some of those guys got banged up, not injury banged up, but physical match sort of, banged up. And so that is what bothers me and worries me headed now
Mhm.
into a huge matchup on Saturday that we're going to get into. But other than that, I'm with you on Carnell is answering the bell. The other players are answering the bell. It's someone new. It's not just the same player each week. They're spreading the ball around. It's refreshing to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, for everyone who's checking out our show, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and now on my personal TikTok page. And I thank everyone who's chimed in. Please encourage. We are talking Union soccer for my first time. Union live audience, for TikTok, we are talking Union soccer. Me, Steve Fernandez on It's a Wrap Sports, and we have a plenty of stuff. Let's get to our first commenter of the night. Oh man. And my man Luis,
He's talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. I know that much.
yes,
I read
yes,
that
yes.
much.
Yeah, what's up, Luis? And he's chiming. I believe, Luis, you're from Brazil, right? I appreciate the loving though. But yes, it's the Union did take a win. Adam Cease chiming in from Facebook says, "What's up?
What's going on, Adam?
What's up, guys? What's up? Go Union! Yes, Union. The Philadelphia Union 7-3-1 right now. Great start and second place in the Eastern Conference, getting ready for the big battle. And we do have a special guest coming on a little later in the show. I did give him the email. Hopefully he got it, and hopefully he'll be on here soon at the 9:30 hour, 9:40 hour, something like that. But yeah, look, the Philadelphia Union did take a win last night. Was huge, and like you said, they got pushed to the limits last night by Indy, right? They got physical, they were getting handled. However, it didn't matter. They walked out with the W, and I'm surprised how well in the crunch time, how well Andrew Rick stepped to the bell. I mean, yes, he let a bunch of goals go in, but he came up with a huge block. He made a big stop. He needed to come through, and Lukovic, another guy who came through. But again, like I said, a lot of guys answering the bell for this Philadelphia Union team there, Steve. A lot to be excited for. And one guy in particular I want to talk about is my man, who is Daniel James Jacquelins.
Jaquez.
Jaquez. Who is he? Because he's been very aggressive. Where did he come from? This guy can shoot from the outside. He makes turnovers. He's aggressive with the ball. And he's also, did you see the play he made on Saturday night? He takes the ball and makes
beautiful.
a nice little pass to the left with nobody even look at Indy Vaseline. And he snipes it to the back of the net. Great goal. Like, that was a great goal from him. Like this again, the way he stepped up, another guy who came out of nowhere, who's answered the bell, who's answered the call, who's trying to earn his way in an everyday start rotation spot. Daniel Jean Jacquez has made quite an impression, not just to the fan base, not just to the media, but that whole coaching staff.
He's a lot. He has shined so much since the Gazdag trade. He had moments, earlier on the season and even late last season when he got his moment, his minutes. But It is so it's for a full 90 minutes. He is fighting for every loose possession. He he's so creative with his footwork, right? And that goal was soccer at its finest. It was the diehard soccer fans who watch every single league and everything, who enjoy the game because of the beauty of the game. That goal, those passes between teammates. I mean, you went from one end to the other, set up Vasilev at the top of the box, and it was, I mean, beautiful. But he brings such a almost it's like Martinez, right? He brings that edge like what Martinez used to, but it's so controlled, and he I think he's just a better soccer player overall. He's more athletic, I think, than Martinez. He brings a more offensive approach to the game than just defensive, you know? So he's shining these last 3 games though. It's fun to watch.
You're absolutely right because he is a more versatile scoring option than
Mhm.
Martinez was. You know what I mean? He's again someone if you're a defensive opposition, someone you have to keep your eye on. And that's what I love about again, it goes back to square one of the Bradley Cornell playbook. You can't just keep your eyes on Ty Baribo and expect that's going to be your problem for the night.
Yeah.
Bradley Cornell has dished out more offensive firepower. Now you have to watch Jack West. Now you got to watch Quentin Sullivan. The way he's dialing up plays and being very creative in the offensive zone with some of these players and getting the best juice out of them. It's great. It's fun to watch. And again, a bold move a couple of weeks back by sitting Ty Baribo and letting other players play. I mean, this is great. This is some great. Again, I can't throw Bradley Cornell any more flowers, and I will be the one that owes that man an apology. I'll be the first one
Mhm.
who looked at this guy and said he was never going to fill the Jim Curtin shoes, and he's done it in a big way. He's done it. It's huge. I know it's his freshman year here. I know, um, but he makes adjustments with different lineups every night. The way
Yep.
it's just fun to watch when you watch Bradley Cornell coach this young soccer team now. And people, I mean, if it wasn't for the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, like I had the Philadelphia Union during the spring as my powerhouse. They are
Yeah.
they've earned it. They've earned my power
Oh,
ranking.
absolutely.
And a lot of people, talk about the Flyers and Sixers, but that's a different story. But I don't think there can be anyone who's arguing this team is 7-3-1. This team is, and I get it. And a lot of people are probably going to tell me, well, they haven't beat no one recently. Yeah, but that's 9 points that good teams beat up the bad teams, point blank.
Yeah.
And what do we had? You and I had on our whiteboard: beat the bad teams, get 9 points. They've done
Yeah.
it. They've done it. They beat up the
And,
bad teams. They
and
took care of uh, the bad teams in the MLS. They beat up Atlanta. They beat up DC. They beat up. And by the way, if Joe Hal, if you're out there listening to the show, congratulations to you. You predicted. Yes, there you are.
you nailed it.
Joe Hal is just checking in. Joe Hal, you nailed it. A 2-1 win, Philadelphia Union. Bravos to you. Because they did go into Montreal. They did win 2-1. So again, Joe Hal, bravos. Bravos, sir.
And how about this? Here's a let this stat or fact, whatever you want to call it, sink in. The Union won 9 games last year. The whole season. They've already won 7 through the first 11 games.
Mm-hmm.
So
Uh,
it's wild to even fathom that they're already only 2 wins away from tying last season's whole entire uh wins. And the other thing I'm going to say, the last thing I'm going to mention about Danley is I think he's even a better fit than Jack McGlynn, because yeah,
Uh,
Jack was loved because he was your homegrown. He came up through the academy. You saw his development, you saw his growth. You also, yeah,
whoa.
he's got an incredible left foot, and that's great and all. But there's a lot of times where I personally questioned Jack's effort at times. You could tell he would get frustrated and he wouldn't get back on defense necessarily, or he'd give up on a play. You're not seeing that with Danley. Danley, he's giving you production on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. And I just think, and not saying that McGlynn's bad, but look where Houston's at. Houston's got 2 wins on the season. He's not really contributing too much. Um, just enough. But I think ultimately that was a smart trade. And Danley, Lukic, these guys fit in, I feel like, a little bit better with this system.
Yeah, right now I'm getting a commenter through TikTok saying that Messier can't stand. I think he's trying to say Messier, but he says Pessier robbed the MLS of billions of dollars. He says the MLS is a farm system league. They could have put money in towards developing the young talent, but they didn't. They gave it to Pessier. But Joe Hale, how are you doing, sir? But no, listen,
Hold
Apple,
on, Joe.
listen. I don't know about that. I think Pessier, because it's all scores and
I
it's
think the
penalties.
league's growing.
The league is growing. I think the MLS is growing. I think it's getting more notoriety. I think Messier coming over actually helped. And I appreciate you chiming in, Apple user. Yeah, I can't say that. I think the league has grown. I think people are starting to catch on. I would love it to be in a more local channel than, I love to see it on. He says respect Poppy. Yeah, I would love to see it like on more like a Fox on an every weekly basis.
Even ESPN Plus.
But it's right. Give me the ESPN Plus. But the Philadelphia Union, the way they're playing right now, Apple. Yeah, I get you. I think the league is growing, so forth. But yes, definitely keep chiming in. Definitely appreciate it. If you are a big fan of Philadelphia Union soccer, please. He's like, I would love to see Cristiano Ronaldo in the league. Yeah, I listen. I would love who wouldn't want to see Cristiano Ronaldo in the league. Totally agree with you.
I think he'll get one season in. I think he'll get one season in before he calls it quits of MLS play.
Yeah.
And it's not like he'll play full 90-minute matches. He'll be a 40, 50-minute sort of player, come in and put butts in the seats.
Oh, and an Apple user gave me a gift. All right, thank you, sir. But I want to say to look who's chimed into the show now. Don't you know? My man, our man, Frankie James. Once again, he goes, I love that shirt, Steve. Looking good. Nice.
There he is. There he is. What's up, Frankie?
But yeah,
Hey,
anyway, let's get back to the action here. Before we got carried away with the conversations. He goes, I think Cristiano makes the league more legit than Pessier. I don't know, because when Messier came over,
that sounds biased.
Apple
Sounds like we have a Ronaldo fan over Messi fan over there.
Listen, I think though, Apple, and please give me if you could give me a follow, like, and all that fun stuff. Appreciate it. I definitely think that Messier definitely put this thing on the map here, because everywhere his first go around, he was selling out arenas, helping every MLS. I know people in Philly that don't even watch soccer came to watch the greatness of this man. So I don't know. I can't go down that avenue.
They had to put him in football stadiums.
He sold out a lot of places. And again, this is the It's a Wrap Sports Network with me, Steve Fenentes. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and now TikTok, on my personal TikTok. So if you're watching, I definitely appreciate it. But yes, let's talk a little bit more about. And guys, if you haven't yet, please you guys subscribe. You can subscribe to It's a Wrap Sports on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all that fun stuff. You can subscribe. It's free.
I got
Free hand.
I got something for you though for Carnell. While we're going to continue to give him his flowers and everything.
Yes.
When Montreal tied that game up and things kind of got stagnant for a little bit, right? I'm sitting there watching the game on TV and I'm like, damn, this is looking a lot like curtain ball. They're not really doing anything. They're just sending the ball deep, a lot of eyes off the head. And I was just like, damn, like, is he going to do anything? And then maybe like 5 minutes later that I said that to myself, he makes the sub. He subs off Ty for Uwa. And then 10 minutes after Uwa gets on, he scores, that goal to put him up 2-1. And it was just, I went back to thinking that is a timely sub to hold off on Uwa for that long until the 74th minute or 75th minute, whenever he came in, to play him off the bench, knowing that you have a long week coming up. You got the Wednesday US Open Cup game, and then you got Columbus. The lineup, I was questioning the Donovan start, but then I remembered, okay, hold on. There's a long month. They got other games. And that's why I think Ty kind of had a bad game, because he's not, Donovan isn't going to be your top running mate. Nothing against the kid, but he's just not. But I think that timely sub with Uwa was, give it up to Carnell and Uwa. Uwa's been great, dude. Uwa has been so good the last few games.
He's been decent, and I'm glad you brought up about Uwa, because he's been off the radar and not fold with all this pressure, because he can score. He can become that facilitator, whatever role that Bradley Carnell needs him to do. He's a plug and play guy. Again, he can come off and score. He can start and score. He can come off the bench and score. He can make things happen. And like you just mentioned, Lukic kind of makes forces the turnover, passes right to Uwa. Uwa finds the back of the net. I mean, he's there when you need. What beautiful pass. And then there he is. He's setting players up. He set up Daniel Jack Juan's last week. This is he's a playmaker. I don't know who is the offense or defensive coordinator. And again, they are reading like what's coming at them. They're reading what's coming at them. The offense is being very creative. They're pushing each other. The coaching staff, everywhere. And this Bradley Carnell move to being the head coach, I will say I was wrong. I thought the Union front office made a big mistake by letting Jim Curtin go. And I was in the wrong, because Bradley Carnell has been the right guy for the job. And I can admit I was in the wrong for that. So again,
he's been all business.
He's been all business. He motivates the team. He pushes the team to the limits. Pushing each other for starting positions Monday through Friday, pushing each other, making it hard on each other. And then when it comes Saturday time, you're ready to dish out some pain and agony to your opposing defenses. I love it. Great stuff. So yeah, we like I said, huge win yet last night. Again, winning a shootout. You move the second round. You won 9. You collect 9 points in the last 3 weeks. You move down to 7-3-1. You are 4-1-1 at home. You got 22 points. But however,
they got their swagger back at home after last season's horrible showing at home. So
yes, but
they got that mojo back.
Before we get into, because everybody wants to talk about it. Of course, we got a couple comments coming in through our man Joe Hal. He says, here he goes. He says that I'm always good at giving scoring. I'm going to say 3-1 Union next game. Woo.
That's
Wait a
confidence
minute,
right
Joe.
there.
You might want to
Oh,
pump the brakes there. That is a lot
that's
of confidence.
confidence.
Go to 4-1 Union. Yeah, Joe, you might be eating a lot of spinach, my friend, because I don't think they're going to be able to do that to Columbus coming up this weekend. But hey, listen, you haven't been wrong yet. So if they go rock the house, we'll
How
find
about
out.
this though?
But
They lose to NYCFC, right? So 3 weeks ago, we're talking about that loss, right? They dropped to
mhm.
fifth place, I think they dropped to around there.
Yes.
And we said it. We said get right game, Atlanta, DC, another get right game. And then we stopped saying get right game and it's all right, just on to the next game. And here they are, 3-game win streak. They've done exactly what they've needed to do heading into this huge showdown Saturday. I mean, do you have any more questions or is there any, we keep talking about the good, but is there anything that you'd still like them to fix moving forward, even though how well they've been doing?
You know what? I think I want to say this. Like you said, okay, 3 weeks, 6 weeks ago, let's go there. They look
Yeah,
they look like they were going to get ready to spiral out of control and start losing um, some steam. Now they
yeah,
picked it up in these last 3 games. Yes, was Atlanta a bottom feeder, close to being a bottom feeder team? Absolutely. Um, is DC not the greatest, soccer team in the world? Absolutely. However, However, you go up to Montreal. What did Bradley Cornell say? They've been playing better. Don't go based off the record. They've been playing better. So he already knew what he was getting himself into. He knew about this team. Listen, they didn't blow out Montreal by like a 4-0 margin or anything like that. They took care of business. They got out of Montreal with a win. That's the most important thing. They won. They walked out and picked up their 9th point in the last 3 weeks, and now they are sitting right behind Columbus. And matter of fact, we have
here we
somebody
go.
who we got the big dog. Well, my man, listen, he's been all over the world. He's when you think about Union Soccer, I immediately think about this man. And the last time uh, I had him, I was in the studio with this gentleman, me, him, and my one of my best friends, Gustavo Seminario, who created the Attack and Third. We're on the show together, so it's an honor and it's always a privilege, and it's always good to talk Union Soccer with my man. JP El Perico is on the show. JP, what's up, buddy?
What's happening? Thank you so much for the kind words, man. It's good to be on, brother. Talk some Union Soccer.
Yes. So you are now on the Attack of Third, second appearance. Love having you on now. Steve Funetez, Steve,
What's up, Steve?
Steve, this is JP. We are going to wrap. We're going to talk some
What's
Union
going on, JP? How
Soccer.
we doing?
Oh, great, man.
So right away, I got to ask you,
Yeah, man.
Union won their last 3 games. Is this, or how's your eye test feeling? Are you like, I know it's the 3 bottom feeder teams. We took care of them. Where are you with the Philadelphia Union?
Oh, I mean, like wins are wins, right? Like that's 6 points and obviously a big one in the U.S. Open Cup to punch your tickets around 6. But like I feel like this team, and we all like since Ernst Tanner's been here, like we know how this team is going to play. If they're not a good collective bunch, then we're not going to go anywhere. And right now they are building up that confidence, so that's very, very important. I still have my question marks on this team, which I'm sure we'll talk about, but I can't overlook 3 straight wins because at this moment where you're still early in the season, you're trying to get those brownie points. And right now they definitely got some confidence, and that's big going forward because it's not going to be an easy month here in May.
No, I don't think so either. Again, Saturday, I think is going to be your first major test coming up to see where exactly at. But before I talk about Saturday's matchup, JP, I got to ask another question.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you? What's the big difference are you seeing from the Bradley Cornell playbook compared to the Jim Kirk playbook of last year?
So I think number one, I'm sure you know, Pat, I was against firing Jim Curtin, right? Because it just felt like he was the scapegoat. I mean, you really gave him nothing to kind of work with. And I think what happened last year was kind of a go figure moment. But Bradley, and this happens in every sport, right? You let go of a coach, you bring in a fresh voice, and it just jumpstarts something. And that's clearly what's happening early on in the season. Bradley's been fine. I like the animation that he has as well. He seems to be intense when it matters most. And I think that's been big. You kind of have seen that. And when the Union are playing with that high intensity, it's really hard to stop them. I think the one thing that has really caught my eye, and it was something that you can really notice yesterday in the U.S. Open Cup, rotation. This man's not scared to rotate. I mean, he started Kevin Sullivan, started Andrew Rick over Andre Blake. I thought that was a great spot. Putting Jeremy Raffagnello in a position that I would not expect to put him back deep as kind of like a 6. So he's not scared of playing the guys, and that was one of the main things during the Jim Curtin firing press conference with Ernst Tanner. He wants the next manager to play the guys on the roster. Jim may have not trusted some of those young kids. Bradley does, and that's one of the main things. But it doesn't matter who's managing this squad, right? It's going to be the same tactics, right? And tactics have changed just a slight, but that high intensity, the high press is still there. So those type of things, the foundations are still there, but Bradley seems to be thinking outside the box just a little bit.
Yeah, I like it. Steve, you got a question?
So, JP, one of the things that you said, something bothers you about this team still. You know, they still have some work to do. One of those things for me is the center back position, right? The depth of it. What about Carnell has he been able to do to disguise that lack of depth? And moving forward, is that sustainable? Or do they have to go out and get someone with the injuries that they've sustained? What do you see them doing, or what would you like them to do?
No, for sure. They definitely need another body in here. I am anti putting Nathan Harriel center back. Although, look, he does a good job. And the thing with Nate is when you ask him to do something, he will do it, no questions asked. And you guys can see that. I just don't like having a young center back who it's not his position. He's not, but because of the fact that he's a really good 1v1 defender, that's your really only option. But they're going to need it. I mean, Glanovich probably gone for the season, right? Kanye, he seems to have gained that confidence back, which is big.
Yeah.
And Glezis, that's a big question mark, guys. I mean, we all love Jakub Glezis, but he's not getting any younger. His contract's up at the end of the year. He does have the option for 26, but that is a tough decision that they are going to have to think about. I think right now, though, you mentioned Pat, you mentioned earlier that the Union have been, they won 3 straight, but it's not been really good competition. But even so, like that has been able to build up that confidence. I've seen the possession getting a lot better, and I know we'll talk about Gazag, but post Gazag era, that's the one thing that they kind of were struggling with, right? Those first couple matches, once you got traded away to Columbus, the attack didn't look right. But when you have a back line that may not be your strongest suit, the possession is the big part of it. And so I do think that they have been kind of steering away from the back line, or I should say, taking the pressure off the back line. But yeah, I mean, this weekend is obviously gonna be a really good test. But just for like depth purposes, God, let me knock on wood here. God forbid someone goes down like Mancini or Glezis. What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Yeah,
it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, and you're right. Like if you lose Glezis, you lose those guys. You're kind of getting weak back there. And like that's like if I'm going to nitpick about the Bradley Carnell playbook, that he, when he gets, like Steve kind of said, like when he gets the center backs, he'll push all in, he'll go all chips all in and try. I get it, you're trying to come up with more scoring options, but sometimes I'll see like you're lucky you have Andre Blake back there, because there's sometimes he's on an island by himself, and then it's just like he's got to try and make the big play, come out of the, get out and try and make the big stop. But there's obviously when he's not in there, you're left with Andre Rick, and you don't want to lose anything like that. And stuff like that. So again, there's other things that you kind of have to take within. If I'm going to nitpick, that's the only thing I noticed with him. But I will say though, He's done a phenomenal job coaching his team. Again, I wasn't expecting this team to be 7-3-1 what they're at now. Again, Saturday's like one of the marquee matchups. Matter of fact, they may be the game of the week for MLS. And now I got to ask you, me and Steve talked about it. Life without Gazak, how it was going to go on. It looks like it's going on just well. Now the big homecoming is he going to get the boot birds after the ovation, or what's going to happen there?
Oh, dude, there should be no booze, man. I mean, that had nothing to do with Gazak. That was all on the organization realizing that, listen, we love Gazak. We appreciate what he did, but they just felt as if he wasn't part of the future plans. And I'll be honest with you guys, when that move happened, I wasn't necessarily upset because I felt like we could have done better than Daniel Gazak. I was upset the fact that they decided to do it in the beginning of the season. Like, we weren't even at the summer transfer period for us to find a replacement for him. But look, that's part of this whole plan that Ernst Tanner has. Like, he believes in what he did. And the thing, I actually believed in the roster going into the season. I thought Ernst actually did a solid job of actually supplementing this team heading into the season. The guys like one, definitely, I'm still scratching my head on it. They seem to be finding a way, though. Quinn Sullivan, he's the assist leader on this squad, and he's really taking on a bigger responsibility, which I do like. And Indiana Vasilov, I don't know if Indiana is playing in the right position, if I'm being honest with you. To me, he looks more like a box-to-box 8. He was a workload, and he's kind of like Leon Flock was, right? But yeah, Indiana is more clinical in the final third. That's where Leon kind of really struggled with. So I really like that position. I mean, it's tough, too, because Lukic and Jean-Jacques are playing extremely well side by side there, as they're kind of now like you're holding sixes, both of them. So you can't really go back to that diamond shape anymore when you have those two playing extremely well as they have. So the attack right now, it's still a work in progress, and this weekend is going to be interesting. But with Gazak, he missed last week against Charlotte for Columbus. Mm-hmm. He had a little bit of a leg contusion. He seems like he's fine, and there is no way in hell Gazak is going to miss this one. Are you kidding me? In front of Ernst Tanner, he's going to be there, man.
Oh, he just got paid.
Yeah. He got the extension too. Good for him, man. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, listen, I'm excited. I expect he's going to bring the dog in him to Subaru Park to try to stick to his old club. But it's kind of like you said, JP. The way this kind of mapped out, like Tanner has just proved, like, listen, we're going to take our all-time new franchise scoring guy and we're going to ship him out. And me and Steve are trying to come up with notes, how's life going to go on without Gazak, and what's his every time I question this franchise, they prove me wrong by doing something better. And listen, they always build within the farm system. They always find that diamond in the rough. And like you just mentioned, Quinn Sullivan taking on a bigger role, coming through, other players stepping up. And another bold move he's done, Ty Baribo leads that team in goals, sends him to the bench, tries something else, another rotation, another new formation, having other guys answer the bell. And it's just like, whatever this guy does, whatever this franchise wants to do, there seems to be no wrong moves. And I think a lot of Union fans can say, let him cook. Let this guy cook.
I still think they do need to find another type of attacking midfielder. It seems like they're going to continue rolling with these two attacking guys, and they've kind of given them the freedom, which is why I love Gazdag with Quinn up there. But it clearly they just did not see him in the future plan, so it's kind of why they moved on. But summer's going to be big. They need to, in my opinion, they still even if they do believe in Indiana Vasilov and Quinn Sullivan, you still need some bodies for depth there. And that's the center back position. They really need to supplement that for sure. That's the biggest alarming position right there.
Here's my biggest thing with all these all the trades, all the transfers, or just letting players walk, go to new teams like Elliott in the offseason. The one thing about the Union fan base that irks me the most, because I root for this, right?
Amen.
Always before the name, right?
Amen.
You grow the attachment to these guys, you're always going to let emotion take over this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm about to lay this out. Carranza left. Did any of us after Ty came in and showed what he can do? Did any of us miss him? No, everyone was congratulating him for what he's doing over there, right? Elliott, everyone was, I can't believe we didn't sign Elliott. Why instead of we signed Glesnes? Aren't we all sitting here going, Makana's showing growth and in confidence and is out there doing his thing? Everyone was freaking out about McGlynn. Aren't we out here talking about Danley and Lukic? Everyone's freaking out about Gazdag. They've put up 8 goals since. They're second in the league in goal differential. And it's life at Curtin. And now look at what Carnell's doing. Yeah, there's a lot of season left to go. We're through 11 games. They've won 7. They won 9 all of last year.
No, Steve, you're spot on. Like the thing with me is that, like, look, since that 2022 final, this team has taken steps back, right? 2023, that Cincinnati match, we don't have to bring that up, right? But the following year was an absolute disaster. So in my mind, and obviously in your mind as well, Steve, that means that no one's job is secure. We're not winning championships here. So, like, what are we doing here? So if we're not winning, then something has to happen. The Gazdag thing, for me personally, obviously, thank you for all the service he's done. Obviously, a major part of that 2022 season, the leading
Put him in the Ring of Honor.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. But the thing is that, yes, he's a leading goal scorer in this club's history, but a majority of them, let's call it what it is. He came from the PK spot, and so, like, for me, like, I always felt like there was a lot of players that, or even to this day, I feel like there are players that we can definitely upgrade from. You know what, guys? You know what's a great example? The club that we're playing this upcoming Saturday. That is a club. They actually do build from their homegrown system as well. A lot of the players on that first team squad are organically coming from that Columbus youth homegrown system, but they also still invest the money. I'm fine with what's going on right now. Like, they are competitive, and we will see what happens. Crazy thing happens in tournament-like situations. I mean, we're Union fans. We've seen the crazy stuff happen in tournament-like situations. But if I'd be lying to you if I were sitting here saying that I feel fully confident this team is an MLS Cup contender. I still think Miami's ahead of us. I still think Columbus is ahead of us. So the work still needs to be done. But you're right, Steve. I mean, like, if we're not winning championships, what do we got to do to get to that spot?
Everyone was complaining about we haven't had it. There's no cup, right? In these, especially in these last 5 years, the prime of Union, the best of Union years. But then when these players get traded away, everyone's like, oh my God, well, what did they bring? The same thing you're pissed off about. No hardware. If Luka Doncic can get traded, anybody can get traded, right? So, right. And look at not to bring up different sports, but the Eagles, right? They went to Super Bowl, fell off, had a bad season the next year, and then look what happened. So
changes,
yeah, some changes, new blood in the locker room, new faces. It can get people going. And another name that I want to say who's contributed to with all these changes, the emergence of Frankie Westfield. He has been so solid. To put him in the starting lineup from the first game on, that's all Carnell. The faith in that, and it's paid off.
Yeah, that's again, that was a big thing with Ernst. Whoever's going to be the next manager has to play the kids. I love Jim Curtin. Pat will tell you, man, I'll die on that Jim Curtin horse, man. But that was his one flaw. Like, for whatever reason, he just did not trust the kids. It had to be like a Brennan Aronson who came into spring training and absolutely freaking stole a job from Derek Jones in order for him to get a starting job in that season. But that's what Ernst Tanner wants. He wants to play those kids because that's how, in his mind, that's how we're going to supplement a lot of this depth. And look, I mean, and Pat, Steve, I'm sure you guys get the question all the time about Mr. Kevin Sullivan, right? And maybe Kevin Sullivan is a difference maker in this league before he goes to Man City at 18 years old. Maybe he is that, but I don't know that yet. So we need to find players for right now to make sure that we can win.
Yeah, and that's the only way you're going to win in bringing Harwell. I mean, yes, does it hurt not to keep building with him? Absolutely, but like you did, like you just said, JP, you do have to start spending a little bit of cash and stop. Building. We're talking about practice fields. We're talking about practice. We're constantly building practice fields, building practice. That's all nice, and they're beautiful fields, so everyone knows. But let's buy some talent a little bit, start spending a little bit of talent. I mean, that's the only way you're going to really walk out and to win something. I mean, look, and we all know they make these minor little tweaks to the team to kind of try and boosterize it, but you have to at some point start spending some kind of cash on talent. Now, I got a couple of questions for you, JP, before I let you go. One, where are you with Bruno Diamond? Is he going to be more is added to goals here, or is he going to be, or is this what he is?
Well, that's what we signed him for, right? To score those banger goals.
Yeah.
I think what you're seeing right now with Bruno, and it's really tough playing the forward position. I mean, you look at besides William Carranza, because he's obviously really, really good, but every forward that we've had come here, like, it takes him a while to get acclimated, especially those European guys, or in this case, a South American guy. I've seen some good stuff. I've seen him make some good runs. The one goal against DC United where he just absolutely muscled his way to a goal from that center back. I see the glimpses. It has to just come all together. The other problem right now is that you can't take Ty Baribo off the pitch. That's the problem, right? And Ua and Bruno are just not taking that role to start next to Ty Baribo on a consistent basis. Bruno is doing everything right. He just needs to continue finding a way on the pitch, getting acclimated, and I do think the goals will come. I don't know if he's the killer. I really don't know if he's a killer. Neither him or Ty Baribo. But for right now, this club, their way they're going to score goals is by playing team soccer. It's not going to come from one person. It's going to come from the bunch, and they need to find other ways to create attack, because another problem right now is most of the attack is coming from that left-hand side, because Kai Wagner is filthy with that left foot. And he's great at crossing in, and he's producing a lot from that side. But there are going to be times where you have to come from the center. You have to come from the right. And Frankie, you guys mentioned it, he's doing a really good job. And that's the one thing that he's going to have to gain consistently. I think defensively, he's really solid. The attack is where I want to see him continue growing. But the goals will come for Bruno Diamante. It's just it's tough, man, when you're coming in. People underestimate this league too. They think you score a couple goals here in South America, you're going to do the same in the MLS. Nah, you got to wait, man. You got to wait.
Yeah, absolutely. But look, big game Saturday night. You got to look out for Diego Rossi. He's got 6 goals. You got they got guys who can play make. They got guys who can facilitate. What is going to be your final prediction on who wins, who loses, and if they do lose, how's this going to play out to you?
Well, it's definitely going to be an emotional match. I mean, Gazdag in there, obviously, he's really close with a lot of guys in the dressing room here in Philly, and that's going to be kind of the main storyline. Is going to be Gazdag returning home to Philadelphia, but I think for the Union, it's just allowing all that attention to go on Gazdag and the Columbus Crew. Obviously, everyone's focused on that, but the one other storyline that everyone's kind of overlooking is that, boys, this is for first place. Yes. You have Columbus and first with 24, Philly with 22, right? I think Cincinnati has 22 as well. Miami's 21 right behind that. So you want to keep some ground here in the Eastern Conference. It's tight, man. The Eastern Conference is definitely a tougher conference in the MLS this year compared to the Western Conference. So it's going to be really important. And these two, listen, when Columbus and Philly meet up, in Columbus is a different story, but in Philadelphia, it's always a dogfight, man. So it's definitely going to be a low-scoring one. Will Fernandes, to me, is one of my favorite managers in this league. He's done it in Montreal. He's done it here in Columbus. He's really good. And the one thing, too, is that I think he's a great freaking teacher, and he allows his players to just go out there and play their game. If they make those mistakes, that's what he wants, because everything is a learning experience for them. I think overall, I think it's going to be a low-scoring one, but I do think Columbus comes out victorious. I think it'll be a 2-1 Columbus win. It'll be a great test here for the U, and it's going to be a great sample size. Even if it is an L, this is a great opportunity here for them to learn from. And May is going to be tough. But it's a long season. But I do think in this one, I do think the Columbus Crew walk out victorious here. It's Gazak, man. He's one of those players, man. Coming back,
Oh
he's gonna come
man,
back angry.
yes. If this is a 1-0 win, say Gazdag, he puts in 90th minute, he comes up with some crazy backhand goal. That's just going to put the knife to my chest. But listen, nonetheless, it should be a heavyweight showdown, that's for sure. But guys, listen, we want to thank JP. JP is here
Thank you,
joining
guys.
us on the It's a Wrap. And guys, don't go anywhere, because right after us, we have Matty B coming up here right afterwards. The final word, I'm pretty sure he'll be talking Phillies. Matty B does not have anything nice to say, as they call him, Mr. Negadelphian. Of course, and then you have Sunday mornings with me, and there's not enough blood pressure and prayers and holy water to go around with the PM and the AM show. Me and Mike Laro every Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. And there's just like I said, not enough blood pressure and holy water to dabble in on that show. And of course, right here, the attacking third. Of course, you got me, Steve Finetez, always kicking, talking Union soccer. So guys, again, JP, where can the people follow you at on all your social media platforms?
Absolutely, man. For right now, you can find me at Parcero Philly or El Parcero Philly. That's ELPARCERO. It's good seeing Matty B strong, and you and Matt still going strong as well. Steve, it is a pleasure meeting you as well, my brother. But hey,
yes,
listen,
you
man,
as well.
Keep the 5 for 5 love going, and we'll talk soon, Pat. Don't listen. Keep me in mind, man. I always love talking Union.
Listen, like I said, JP, the last time I had you on, I'm getting a little emotional inside, because right away I thought about the first time I had you in studio, me and my man Gus. Very, very emotional a little bit, because
Love
again,
you,
we had a great time. Yeah. We had a great time. Obviously, on the way home, Gus told me, after having you in studio, you have rocking the power hour that morning, he said, man, this was really, really cool. Like, he cemented it. Felt like, yeah, we are pushing the attack and third into the right direction. I said, Gus, this is all because of you. So here we are 5 years later, and
Amen, brother.
Because of Gus, the attack and third is still going strong and still going well. So, but Steve Finetez has come in, and he's my new Gus. He is taking over. He knows his soccer. He's gotten me through every day. So, but yeah, anyway. JP El Perico, guys, give him a follow on all the social media platforms. Great guy. Love having him on the show. He's like a brother of mine. He's definitely a 5 for 5sman and some more. Guys, JP, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Dupe on, brothers. Dupe on.
Dupe on. Guys, that's my man, JP. Man, he gets you going. He gets you ready to ready to run through the wall. Like, I want to get down, blow at one of the sons of Ben's horns. I'm ready to rock. But Steve,
could be a frequent guest. Could be a frequent guest, maybe.
Yes,
right?
Yes. He knows he's always got a seat at my table. But let's go over part of the show. We got to go over the matchups of this weekend. Other than the main event, what's going around the MLS? Do you have the schedule in front of you?
Yeah, I got it.
I got a couple of the ones that
you want me to run this down?
Let's take turns. Let's knock them down.
All right, so we got we got Philadelphia, Columbus, obviously, but let's go. We got Chicago and Atlanta at 2:30. They're the early game. So who you got?
Chicago.
Me too. I think Atlanta is just Atlanta. I think Chicago's going to come out with a win.
Yeah, Chicago's got a lot off the radar. They'll be climbing up the ladder in the East.
Yeah, and they got the rumors of the big name Kevin DeBron possibly signing with them in the summer. So you never know. The 4:30 game, big one, Minnesota, Miami. I got Miami.
One of my top 3 must-watch games, Minnesota, Miami. Miami needs this win the worst way. Is it up in north? Is it up in the north of the border?
Let me see. This one is this one's in Minnesota.
I'm gonna go with the shocker. I'll go Minnesota.
Here we go.
Taking Miami out of its elements of the warm weather.
You know what? This is like one of those first years since the Messi era that there's there's some teams like JP was saying, the East is stacked. So not only do Columbus and Philly really need this win, you got the big dogs like Miami who haven't needed must win games or to keep up with the field. So they need this. That's why I have them. Oh shoot, there's 2 4:30 games. The second one is Toronto and DC.
DC needs it. I'm going to give it to Toronto.
I think DC. I think DC. Whenever Benteke plays, I'm always going to go with DC. So those are the afternoon ones. So now the 7:30 games. The first one on the docket is Cincinnati and Austin. Cincinnati finally got an L after like 4 or 5 wins in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got Austin with a giving them another L.
What's that game?
Austin, Cincinnati, 7:30.
No, you got. I'm going Cincy.
In Cincy.
Yes.
So you going Cincy?
Yes.
NYC, Montreal. NYCFC coming off that loss to the Riverhounds. How do you think? Do they respond?
No. I want to get NYCFC their due.
All right. I think Montreal. I think what I saw from them versus the Union on Saturday, I think they're not too bad. Not too bad of a squad. I think they just need to put it together. I think they can beat NYCFC.
Really?
Next one. Yeah, the next one. Galaxy versus the Red Bulls. Do the Galaxy get their first win?
No. The Red Bulls.
I don't think so either.
No, I want to go Red Bulls.
That's got to be one of the biggest stories over the first 11 games is the defending champs not having a win yet.
Yeah, no. Those teams are burnt out.
I got the Red Bulls winning too. Orlando, New England. New England's on a tear. 5-game winning streak. I mean, I didn't see that. But I think Orlando beats them.
Okay. I'll go with Orlando too.
Yeah. I just think the run's got to come to an end sometime. I think it does now. Dallas, Salt Lake. This one's at 8:30.
Give me Salt Lake.
Yeah, I think so. I was gonna say I think so too. Dallas is they're a good squad. They're just not consistent enough. I like Salt Lake in that one. Houston and Seattle. Both teams coming off of wins.
I'm going Houston and Seattle. Give me Houston. Houston, I think. Yeah.
Ever since Angry Ant stopped coming on.
Yes.
You've just thrown Seattle. They're not your favorite team anymore.
No. They're done.
I'm gonna go with Houston too.
Really? You're gonna go
Nashville?
Houston?
Yeah. I think Houston. Even though I'm not upset that McGlynn's not here, he's still a good talent, and I just think he's going to be the catalyst for some wins for them coming up. Nashville and Charlotte. This is a big one too.
Nashville and Charlotte. Okay. You know what? I'm going to say that Charlotte needs the win. They've been looking sloppy. I'm going to go Nashville.
No, I like Charlotte here. They had those back-to-back losses. Got a win last week. I think they get the win.
Really? Charlotte. Yeah, Nashville needs the win. Charlotte's, like I said, has looked sloppy in the last couple of games. Of course, they got the doors blown off them last week by Columbus. Charlotte really needs a win, but I think Nashville takes it.
Okay. I think they got the weapons too. I think that one could be a high-scoring one.
Yeah, Mountaineer.
S-
That's a Mountaineer game.
St. Louis and San Diego. San Diego put the beat down on Dallas. I think it was Dallas last week. I was
Yeah,
so wrong about that. You were right about San Diego last week.
yes. San Diego is St. Louis stinks. Give me San Diego.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think San Diego, the new franchise. I think they get
Yes.
it done. Colorado and San Jose. 9:30.
Draw. Give me a 1-1 draw.
Okay. I'm gonna go San Jose.
You're gonna
I'm gonna
San
say
Jose. Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna say Yusuf Martinez wins it late for them, and they get their third win in a row.
Okay.
Portland and Kansas City, the late night, the 10:30.
Give me Portland. Give me a 1-0 Portland.
Portland upset. It might have been Portland who lost to Dallas last week. They upset me, whoever it was. But Portland did. They whoever they lost. They give me Kansas City. Give me Kansas City.
All right, you'll take Kansas City. You're the opposite. Okay.
And then the final, we got one Sunday game. This one should be good.
Yes.
Vancouver versus LAFC. You got what? Number 1 versus number 5 in the West. So I think that one's going to be good. I'm going to go with LAFC just so that Vancouver doesn't keep stretching this supporter shield points getting out of control. So I'm going to need LAFC to win.
No, I got to stick it to LAFC. I'm sorry. Don't like that squad. I hope Vancouver just keeps on doing what they're doing and steamrolls LAFC.
Wait, so you got Toronto, you got Vancouver. Who else?
Did
you pick Montreal?
I'm going all.
Did you go Montreal too?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say, are you going? You crossing the border this weekend? What are you doing? You're going up north?
No, I got to stick. I'll give it New York their due. Then again, New York just like you just said.
PM in the AM in Canada.
That's what I'm talking
on the
about.
road.
Yeah, that's I would like to say, I would like to give, but then again, it's like this NYC team, man, they're so up and down too. 1 minute they look decent, they got pieces, and there's something about them. They just can't strike lightning when it's hot. So, yeah, listen though, I mean, there's again 3 key matches, like you said. You just mentioned one. We got Minnesota, Miami. It's 2. Nashville and
good ones this week.
Charlotte, actually battling for to move up. They're bound for that 6th, 7th spot in the East. Of course, you got Philly and the heavyweight showdown. A lot of good matchups this weekend to go into. But like I said, if we could take care of business on Saturday, then you get LA Galaxy on Wednesday. That's kind of like a layup, and then you move around. But listen, everyone, we're getting ready to wrap up the show. But next week, we got another guest. Guest is going to be joining the show live from Pittsburgh. We got some Pittsburgh beat reporters going to be joining the show next week. It's our old pals.
Right
Will,
after, right?
Ed.
That game's Wednesday, the 21st. So Thursday.
Then,
heck yeah.
Then the following week, yes, because Union and the Pittsburgh Riverhands will be squaring up. The first Keystone matchup between the two.
Yeah, can't lose to this. Can't lose to Pittsburgh for so many reasons. Can't be, Pittsburgh. You know that team's going to say they're the best team in the state of Pennsylvania when it comes to soccer if they win. So can't let that happen.
I love the cross-state rivals, us, Eagles, Steelers, Penguins and Flyers.
Mm-hmm.
This just adds to it. This is once in a while. I love it if it was just an everyday thing, but hey, it is what it is. But guys, listen, for Steve Hernandez, for the Gobbler, great show as always. And we want to thank El Perico, JP for hopping on, and all the Union listeners who's chimed in. Again, Luis from I believe he's from Brazil. Joe Howell, of course, rock on, and of course, Alexis. Thank you so much, and all the listeners from TikTok. Thank you so much. So again, guys, check us out. It's a Wrap Sports. Click like, subscribe, stay tuned. Matty B's got you covered talking Phillies baseball. All right, guys. See you later. We're out of here.